The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela. Hi guys. So I'm a part of the Health and Safety Committee at my job. I've always been in or around one chemistry lab or another for work for over a decade. Based on experience, I see potential dangers where others may not. I'm always picking up boxes and tucking away other trip hazards because I know what can happen. I also don't run in general, but that's probably because I went to an all-girls school and nobody forgets an epic fall after a group of teenage girls have laughed before picking that person up. The trauma was definitely transferred. Have you ever tripped or stumbled, but righted yourself just in time to not fall? I have, many times, several times, so many times. It's almost like it's my default, as if life keeps reminding me that I'm just a stumble away from splattering on my face. People comment on how I walk, dainty and cute and stush. But really and honestly, I just walk carefully. I'm not tall, but since my feet aren't covering a lot of ground, my center of gravity is dependent on my stance. So when I start moving, I'm very mindful of that reality. On this episode, we're talking about slip and falls, and Proverbs 24:16 says, "For the righteous falls 7 times and rise again, but the wicked stumble in times of calamity." It is true, there will be falls as we learn to walk through life. Ask any toddler. But we get up. For a saint is just a sinner who fell down and got up. Donnie McClurkin. There are so many factors that cause these slips, which then lead to these falls, and try as we may, perfection is truly hard to come by. So on the days and during the situations where we are not strongest, there our weaknesses become dominant and the slips happen that sometimes lead to the falls. A fall is not a failure. It's a lesson to be learned from. The mistakes so many of us make is when we unfortunately don't see the lesson in the fall. We don't deconstruct the events leading to that climatic or anticlimactic fall. We just close the door and move on. Or worse, we just lay down and never get back up. I was trying to find data on which gender fails and resits more exams or courses, but it was not a pleasant rabbit hole, so I still don't know. And what's worse, I didn't learn anything new. Ever so often the story of Samson pops up into conversations, and if you've heard of Samson, it's likely you have heard of Delilah. In some circles, Delilah is even more famous than Samson. But the story goes, Samson was the judge of the Hebrew people for a time. And in one stage of life, he encountered a woman, Delilah, who he fell for. He fell. And he did fall catastrophically. He had supernatural strength, which came from his hair having never been cut. a secret he told Delilah, who then told his enemies, the Philistines. In the end, they shaved his head while he slept on her lap. And he awoke weak. He was blinded, bound, and imprisoned. He later died by taking down the load-bearing columns of the building he was brought into to perform for his enemies. The mistake the Philistines made is that they didn't pay attention to Samson after they captured him. His hair grew back. They knew the source of his strength, but when they captured him, when they imprisoned him, they figured they've got him. But Samson accepted dying with his enemies as his ultimate sacrifice, which I've never been able to reconcile with. He for sure got the time in those prison dungeons to reflect on his mercurial nature and his actions, his mistakes. And when you have the time, Google Samson, because his story doesn't disappoint. But basically, he only saw himself after he lost his sight. And without vision, the people perish. Proverbs 29:18. Slips and falls are not designed for us to die there. Learn from that stumble. Correct that move. Forgive. Apologize. Do better. We're humans. And certainly life affords us the opportunity to recalibrate. Do you know how many times I pass my turn while driving with a map, with a navigation system? Sometimes there's another intersection further up, and sometimes I have to turn around. But so far, I've been getting to these destinations, even if not as initially planned. And that is okay. Furthermore, whether we arrive at a place of victory or defeat, it's really up to us to decide. Because sometimes what was victory at the starting blocks has to be redefined during the journey. We at times need to approach that season as a decathlon and recognize it's a series of events, and we won't win them all. The deciding factor will be our overall performance. So when I feel like I am lying face down in whatever situation, I will choose to tell myself those famed lines from Mary Mary. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. Until next time, you take care.